Hi, Mark here for the Kensington Minute. Very clever and hard-working, he shot through the ranks of the Sicherheitsdienst, or the SD, which was the counterintelligence arm of the SS. The son of a piano maker, he studied law and then joined the SS in 1933. Unlike the street brawlers of the early Nazi period, he was calm and measured. Some of the more alpha males in the Nazi Party described him as effete. Whatever his persona, he was talented and incredibly lucky, which explains his meteoric rise in the SS. Do you know who he was? Well, he was Walter Schellenberg, and he was perfectly cast as the unquestioning Nazi loyalist with an eye for details and strong interpersonal skills with Nazi leaders. One leader with whom he ingratiated himself was Reinhard Heydrich, who liked him and respected his intellect. They both came from musical families and lived in genteel penury after the First World War. The two collaborated on many issues. They set up a bordello in Berlin used to spy on Nazi leaders whose loyalty to Hitler they suspected. We have a Kensington Minute on this. It's called Salon Kitty. I think you'll enjoy it. Well, Schellenberg shot to fame in the upper SS circles when he helped to capture British MI6 officers in 1939. This was the Venlo Incident, and Hitler personally awarded him an Iron Cross for this. Schellenberg coordinated genocidal efforts used against Jewish populations. He was the liaison between the SS and the German army in organizing the Einsatzgruppen, or mobile murder squads. This act and others placed him on an Allied war crimes list. Well, he had a list of his own, or so the story goes, but this was a black book that was a list of 2,820 Britons who were to be rounded up immediately had Germany conquered Britain. They likely would have been shot. After this book was discovered, it became quite an honor to have him been placed on it. Schellenberg had targeted intellectuals, Nobel Prize winners, famous pacifists, cartoonists, publishers, and many theatrical wits. Rebecca West chuckled to Noel Coward upon learning that both their names were on the list. She said to him, "Oh, my dear, the people we should have been seen dead with." The gang. Schellenberg also drew in Amin al-Husseini, the Grand Mufti of Jerusalem, into the Nazi orbit and protected him and his fortunes when it looked like Germany was going to lose the war. He looked after him. Some credited Schellenberg with smashing the Red Orchestra, which was a loose collection of Nazi resistors. He had arrested 116 of them and had over half shot after prolonged torture. The apogee of his power probably came after the failed attempt to kill Hitler in July 1944, and he was now one of the most senior leaders in the SS. Well, all this got him a trial as a war criminal, and he was convicted. He got 6 years, but he was released after only 3 for health reasons. Why so few years? Well, same reason Speer wasn't hanged. He cooperated. Schellenberg wrote his memoirs, which were filled with inaccuracies and self-serving or dubious claims. He died in Italy in 1952 at the age of 42, so young. Well, he has a legacy of sorts. He appears in some movies, particularly in the Russian serial 10 Moments to Spring. Now, this series was a sensation in the Soviet Union, which is shown here. He is very smarmy. There's also speculation that the figure of Hans Landa in Inglourious Basterds is modeled after him. I don't know. But he certainly seemed like a lizard to me. Now, he was intelligent and dashing in the Venlo Incident, but some of his post-war claims are harder to support. For example, he claimed to having tried to kidnap the Duke and Duchess of Windsor in Portugal, but his efforts were derailed by British intelligence who poisoned his food. An interesting story, but likely just a story. This Kensington Minute does not represent the official position of the United States government. Take the Kensington Challenge. Home page up at the top. See how many tests you can pass. Out here.